actually a rescue, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
I rescued her a couple of years ago. She had been born out in the pasture. And she had never had any human interaction before. So we put a lot of work into her.
Beautiful.
Good girl. So I put a lot of time and energy into her, and
She wants the regular grass. She wants that. She's like, yeah, that's where it's at.
India. Good girl.
Oh, she knows who
Girl.
loves her.
Give her some love. Give the old man some love. Give the old man some love.
Hi, dear.
Yeah, she's a good kid.
It's a good thing you rescued her, though. There's so many of them out there.
I've got 8 at home.
Yeah.
7 out of the 8 are 6 out of the 8 are rescues. And I work with them. I train them. A lot of them come with issues.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
like the one I've got one at home. She was 15 years old, full registered Arabian when I got her. And for the first 8 years of her life, she was locked up in the basement of someone's house.
Oh,
So the lady kept her locked up.
Here
in the
he
basement.
is.
You believe that?
I believe it, yeah.
People are just so sick in the head, you know?
Yeah.
Where do you live? You live around here?
Yeah. Yeah. Just outside of Hampshire, about 8 miles east.
You ever see Sasquatch?
I'm here all the time.
You ever see any Sasquatch?
Okay, I'll tell you the joke about it. Yeah, is that what you all doing here with the cameras?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay.
no, we're not going to get any pictures of any.
Well,
I'm
you're
sure,
not
but-
going to see any, but
No.
there's
I know they're
on the
around.
White Trail, on the White Horse Trail. There, when they first started advertising about it for the TV show.
Yeah.
Well, the joke about among horsemen is that we'll every time you see them, wherever you see it, you stack rocks.
Right.
So we have a monument out there on the White Trail to Sasquatch that's this tall, with rocks stacked. At one point, they put cameras out there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, did they?
remote cameras to try to see if they can catch them.
Right.
And me and a couple buddies were gonna go rent one of those full ape costumes and just around us, running back and forth, and have him bend over and me come behind him. They were amazing.
That would have been great.
Yeah, it cost too much to rent the damn costumes, man. It wasn't worth
Just
it.
don't do it close to the road, man. I'm telling you what.
No, this is out there pretty far where they
Might
were
find a
doing
couple
it.
Pop shots going
So-
your way, boy, for some people, boy.
Yeah.
There's a conference down here at the lodge. That's what we're with. A Bigfoot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you
And,
don't ever see one on horseback, man. I've seen one bare full. It's not fun to see.
Well, I'll tell you what. One of the nice things. That's why, like, I got a 100-acre farm where and I've got trails and I ride them around out there, but I bring them a lot here because I expose them to more.
Which direction are you?
I'm east on 22.
Oh, okay.
8 miles east.
Yeah, my light
So like deer pop up in front of these guys. I've had all kinds of things just pop up, and you know, and they get used to it and they stop caring.
You're so sweet. Come here.
Her favorite is licorice. Twizzlers.
Tina, you got a lighter? on?
Twizzlers
Yeah.
are her favorites. She actually turns her head around on the trails, and you know, so I can give her one, and then she walks with it like a cigar out of her mouth and chooses it as she walks.
Cute.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I love her to death. She's like my child, you know.
Oh yeah.
Every single one of
Got
them.
light? Okay.
And her mom's the same way too. Her mom's a sweetheart too. But she's my little Ferrari. This one here.
Yeah. She's got a lot of energy.
Oh yeah. All you got to do is just click and tell her let's go,
Yeah.
and she's gone. I mean, she just kind of hops a little bit to realign her feet, and then she takes off running full speed. Whoop. Hey.
I was gonna see if you wanted to go horseback riding.
There's actually
Never seen
right down the road on 22, just east of Salt Fork, about 2 miles, maybe 3 miles, is the Salt Fork Stables.
Yeah.
We go over there. As a matter of fact, I've got some property right next door. to them, and I help them out. I know the
I
owners.
rescued a mule.
Oh, really?
A white mule, yeah. He was like skin and bones.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a burro that was just in bad shape. A horse, bad shape.
Right.
And called the game warden. She said, "Oh, it'd be a month before we can get out there." I said, "They'll starve to death by then, you know."
Right.
So I snuck on the property for about a month, and I knew I had slowly
Oh,
started
there's some lambs here.
feeding them. But I kept them alive for a month until they got
I live
there.
in Alberta and I don't see these plants
And
anymore.
so the old man was blind and was paying a young guy to take care of his animals.
And the guy wasn't.
No.
Of course. That's.
I mean, he broke down in tears when he found out.
Right.
And so, since I was able to help out, and he found out I was actually helping for the whole month, he said, "No, you can go ahead and come onto the property and help take care of him." So I've been doing that for the last 2 years.
Really.
And eventually, he's now rideable, but only bareback. And
Right.
he's a good riding animal, but since he was so abused, you know, it
There's a
took a long
trust
time.
Yeah, there's a big trust issue, and that's the part of the problem that I deal with these guys a lot. That's the hardest is trust.
Yeah.
Because once they start to trust you, they bond with you.
And he'll bite everybody.
Yeah.
Head bite.
Yeah. Once they bond with you, though, then there's not much that they won't do for you because they want to make you happy, just like a dog. They're so much like dogs.
They are like that.
Yeah.
But he smiles for the
they only
camera.
trust
And,
Really?
oh gosh,
That's hysterical.
everyone's like, "Make
Is it a girl or a boy?
calendar."
It's a girl.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Make a calendar. They want 20 minutes away from me. So, but he's a same size as the kids, you know.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely going up there.
So,
It's a girl.
but yeah, he's only I can only ride him bareback. And he's, yeah, but
Is it because he's afraid of saddle?
he's got issues with his legs. He's had some issues with his legs. So,
Right.
Need attention. We don't give them
and he doesn't like the saddle.
Yeah, well, that's usually when somebody tells me that, it's usually a saddle thing. Because
Yeah.
I've got the 2 Arabian brothers that I rescued. One was only 6 months old when I got him, and the brother was 2. And both of them were afraid of their own shadows. And the little one, as a matter of fact, we had him in a small 10-foot by 10-foot pen. It took 2 of us almost 45 minutes to an hour to catch him, to be able to try to put a rope around him, you know, because he was that afraid of people. Now he's the first one to come when I call him,
Yeah.
and because he loves the attention. But it took me a year to get him to that point.
Yeah, I whistle and he comes right away.
Yeah, with her I've got because I've got a 10-acre pasture, fenced in for all the horses to just graze on, plus with the creek. And I've got a wrought iron dinner bell.
Yeah.
So all I do is ring the dinner bell. No matter where they are out there, they come running to the barn. Because they know they're getting their grain, you know.
Yeah. It's food time.
That's amazing how people can be cruel, but there's a lot of it out there.
Yeah. Well, and those 2 Arabians I was telling you about, they were starved. They were also starved, and they were skin and bones. As a matter of fact, the baby's his growth is stunted.
Yeah.
He's 3 years old now, and his growth is stunted. He's almost half her height.
Yeah, with him, he's the same size, but he, you can see the hip bones, the backbone,
Right.
the ribs. I mean, it was pretty bad. And now he's the same size. I mean, he's pretty fat.
Yeah. She loves water too. So does her mother. They go swimming in the. Because some of the trails come along the lake here, and in the summertime we'll go right down to water them. That's what I was bringing her here to water her. And they'll go in the water and they just lay down and start doing the washing machine. And I don't know how many times this poor saddle has gotten washed underwater. Because they roll on their backs and it's like, oh man, it's been broken like 3 times now, this saddle. And I keep swearing that, damn, I'm just going to get a cheap saddle with a bareback. But, every horse is different, and until you realize they're going down, sometimes it's too late. She's good now. She's learned not to lay down in the water without my permission. But, hi, India.
Go looking.
You're more than welcome to hop on. If anybody wants to hop on her, and let her around. I'll lead you around with the lead rope.
That's okay.
He's like, no.
Oh, they're beautiful.
I used to ride an Appaloosa.
Really?
I love Appaloosa. I love the painted ponies are beautiful. The Appaloosas are really gorgeous.
She's actually gated.
Yeah.
Her mother's is full paint, and we don't know what her father was.
Yeah.
But after I finally got her saddle trained and started riding her, she's got a 3-beat gait. And when she gets into that rack of hers, man, she just goes and goes and goes. I don't know if you heard her coming down the road here.
Yes.
That's her gait.
Yeah.
And she will keep that up for hours. And that's why she said, I'm working with her so much for endurance. She's incredible once she hits that thing, and it's smooth. And she just gets into that rack, and I was just blessed, you know, because I've got a Pasofino at home also. I don't know if you're familiar with Pasos.
Yes, oh yes.
It's like ice skating.
Yeah.
There's no smoother horse to ride.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's not as smooth as the Paso. She doesn't have as many gaits as the Paso. She's not as smooth, but she's nice.
They're fun.
They're my life, man.